Hi, I'm Randy Miller, and I'm here today because we are in the midst of at least our 6th month, going on our 6th month, under these executive orders from Lord Ducey of the state of Arizona. Wow, who'd have thought we'd been going on for this long? All indications are showing us that this COVID nonsense is being used as an excuse to manipulate government influence over the people, cripple our economy, which it is doing, put business out of work, shut down our businesses, infringing on their rights under the Constitution to own and operate their business, control their property, and the restrictions that we have on government have just been washed down the drain. Government's in total control, or at least one person is, the governor. This is a total violation of constitutional rights of the people. It's a violation of the constitutional establishment of the structure of government. Article 3 clearly structures government, saying that it's 3 branches of government: the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. Not one branch has the ability or authorization to assume the responsibilities of the other branches, which is exactly what has happened with the legislature giving executive powers to the governor to make his laws, threatening fines and jail time for people who exercise their rights to operate their business. Unbelievable. So we have the legislature illegally giving legislative powers to the governor to make his laws and fine people just because he feels he has the power to do so, which incidentally, Ducey has come out over a month ago and stated he has no intentions of relinquishing any of the power that the legislature gave him, and he's going to continue to exercise it like the little tyrant Hitler that he is. So here we have businesses being shut down because he arbitrarily says, well, if you have a certain license, a 6 license, 7 license, you can't be in business. A Series 6 license is for bars, predominantly selling liquor. Evidently they believe, or he believes, with the co-conspirator of the Arizona Department of Health, that if you sell liquor, you're going to be spreading COVID more frequently and more prevalently than if you have a restaurant or if you have a grocery store. It's the most arbitrary shutdown of businesses that I've seen. It's ridiculous. This is not authorized. This is not anything that they should be doing, and the people need to stand up because this is an assault on the middle class. Those affected by this are the employers of these businesses that are hiring, many of them times single moms trying to raise their family, parents trying to make ends meet with the income that they get from these establishments. So they're shutting down and choking off the middle class. Those in corporations aren't suffering. Walmart, Target, their stocks are doing just fine. Amazon, through the roof. But the mom and pop that make our economy tick are being choked out. And Ducey's to blame for this, our legislators to blame for this, and it needs to stop. We need civil disobedience from our people. The mask mandate, we all know it's bullshit. It's the most ridiculous thing I've seen. It's all stupid. The mask doesn't work. They shut down professionals that do videos, medical professionals, explaining why this is all so ridiculous, that it doesn't work. The masks don't work. You're putting a face diaper on your face and you're breathing into it, all this crap, and then you're taking it all back in. You're increasing the carbon monoxide into or carbon dioxide into your system. This is information I'm getting directly from these professionals. And they're on my website, by the way. If you go to randymiller.com, I have a COVID information section right on there, and I've downloaded many of these videos and put them right on there. Go watch. Don't take my word for it. Listen to the professionals that are telling you the nonsense that's going on by our government officials. This has been going on for almost 6 months. It's got to stop. Our businesses are choking. The only reason the economy is staying afloat is because the government's printing up more money they don't have, by the way, and pumping it into the system. They're paying the people to not go back to work. In Arizona, it's over $600 a week, I believe. That's $2,400 a month to stay home. What happens when that stops? All these people are going to be flooding back for what vacant jobs are available. Where are they going to go when these businesses are out of business because Ducey's regulations and executive orders has shut down these businesses and they had to close because they couldn't afford to stay open? What happens to these homeowners that are renting and they got the restrictions on evictions? People aren't paying their rent. So we have people that have 2 or 3 rentals and they're not getting rent on that. Who's paying for these guys to pay the mortgage on the rental they're not getting their rental income on? I'm telling you, they're choking out the middle class. This has to stop. We have to have some civil disobedience. Stop wearing your mask. Protest. Open your doors for the businesses. You have a right to be open. The government under Arizona law and the federal U.S. Constitution and the Arizona Constitution has no authority to infringe on contacts. In fact, they're prohibited from doing it. Article 1, Section 9, prohibitions on the federal government, I think is Clause 1, says Congress shall make no law that infringes on contracts. That's part of a couple of different restrictions in there. Shall not infringe on contracts. Arizona State Constitution, the legislature shall pass no law that infringes on contracts. All these businesses have contracts. That's just one. The other thing is we have the governor mandating how you operate your business and arbitrarily picking certain business licenses that you have to close but the others can stay open. That's not equal treatment under the law, a violation of the 14th Amendment. It's also a taking of your property. All these businesses are personal property. The owners have rights to those personal properties and they cannot be taken without due process of law, the 5th Amendment. So we have to stand up and put a stop to this nonsense. Ducey, you need to be removed from office. Our legislators that are sitting silent and think they're working behind the scenes to work on some emergency session, bullshit. Where's your voice? Where are you standing up, going in front of that microphone or TV camera, calling into the radio show saying, people, the government has no authority to do this over you. You need to stand up and you need to exercise your rights as sovereign citizens of the state of Arizona and say, you have no authority to do this over me. How can I say that? Article 2, Section 2 of Arizona State Constitution, I'm going to say this all the time, says 3 things. Number 1, all legislative power is inherent in the people. What is legislative power? The power to make laws. Is political power. All political power is inherent in the people. That's the power to make laws. Political power is legislative power to make laws. That's what it is. Comes from you, comes from me, comes from our community, not from government. Our political power is on loan to them to exercise on our behalf. The second thing it says governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. Did you consent to have your property rights violated? Did you consent to have them dictate to you, you're going to wear a face diaper that we know is bullshit, doesn't work? It's a symbol of government control we're wearing on our face. I don't wear one, but it's a symbol of government control and tyranny on your face. It's like a muzzled dog with that proverbial leash controlling where you go. The third thing it says is that, lost my train of thought. All political powers inherent in the people. Government derives its just powers from the consent of the governed. That's the third one. Governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. And then the purpose of government is to protect and preserve individual rights. Individual rights. That's their purpose. Nothing more. So they violated every tenet of that. So when the governor says he has authority for your health and safety because the legislators passed a law that says he can do this, it's wrong, because it has to be by your consent, and their political power comes from us on loan to them, which means we're supposed to have some control over it. And their purpose is that they're to protect our individual rights. You have a right to operate that business because it's your property. They've given you your permit to do it. You're operating under the laws, the contract, which are the conditions of your permit or your license. You paid for that license. You met those standards and you opened under those conditions. If you're maintaining those conditions, you're fulfilling your end of the contract. They cannot shut you down just because they fear you're going to catch a cold. We have this all the time. Flu, cold, pneumonia, AIDS. They didn't shut down the country for AIDS. They didn't shut it down for the bird flu. They didn't shut it down for E. coli. All this stuff. Why now? Could it be because we have a heated political environment where the coup that they just tried to do with the Democrats blew up in their face, and now all the exposure of the criminality that was gone on with this is going to put them in a position where they could be tried and punished for their crimes? Now, the week after their coup attempt of the president with their impeachment fell apart, a week later we got this COVID thing? Really? I wonder. It's time to wake up, people. This is not right. I'm tired of this. We're going to have more discussions on this. We're going to have people coming in, and I hope to get some speakers we're going to interview. We're going to make this a live channel, hopefully, and this is going to be something that we address more frequently. But I'm Randy Miller, and this is my Constitution Minute and my rant on this nonsense of the executive orders of King Ducey, who needs to go. Till next time, thank you.